Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Coco Gauff quickly sends public message to Amanda Anisimova following her historic defeat in the Wimbledon final. Coco Gauff's Wimbledon campaign ended prematurely, but she continued to have an eye on the tournament. The 21-year-old was unable to follow up her French Open victory with a strong run at the All-England club this season. Coco Gauff was defeated by Ukraine's Diana Yastremska 7-6, 6-1 to hand the American her second career first-round defeat at Wimbledon. But Gauff's compatriot Amanda Anisimova was the last American standing as she went on to reach the final. But she delivered a performance that made history for the wrong reasons. Coco Gauff shared touching social media message with Amanda Anisimova after her Wimbledon final defeat. Anisimova's first Grand Slam final came at none other than the Wimbledon Championships. She was up against Iga Swiatek, who was also competing for her first title at SW19, and the poll produced a rampant display. Swiatek took just 57 minutes to defeat Anisimova without losing a game, which is the first time this has happened in the Open era at the All-England club. Anisimova was in tears throughout her post-match interview as she was given a standing ovation by the center court crowd. Soon after the match concluded, Gauff took to social media platform X to send a message to a distraught Anisimova. "So much to be proud of, Amanda. Keep your head up," Gauff wrote, alongside a series of heart and crown emojis. Gauff, the current world number 2, also sent a message to Swiatek, who became the first player from Poland to win Wimbledon. "Congratulations at IJ_Swiatek on an incredible run," Gauff added. Many wondered if Anisimova could become the first American woman since Serena Williams in 2016 to win Wimbledon. But any chance the 13th seed had was quickly stamped out as Swiatek raced through the final to become champion at the All-England club for the first time. This victory means the 6-time Grand Slam champion has now joined a special list containing some of the game's all-time greats. Swiatek has become just the 8th woman in history to win a major on hard, clay, and grass courts. She joins Williams, Chris Evert, Martina Navratilova, Steffi Graf, Hana Mandlikova, Maria Sharapova, and Ash Barty on that list, and Swiatek will be hungry for more Grand Slam titles moving forward. Grass stains and grace, a letter across the net. The center court grass was still green beneath the shadows of history. The applause had long faded into memory, replaced now with the quiet murmur of late evening wind weaving through the rafters. Wimbledon had crowned its champion, Coco Gauff, the youngest American to win the women's title since Serena Williams. But the story was deeper, more human, than a scoreline or a trophy. Across the court, Amanda Anisimova had walked off with her head high, but her heart stitched with disappointment. The two had battled under the London sky not just as athletes, but as reflections of American tennis's future. And when it was over, it wasn't just a handshake at the net that marked the end. It was what came after, a public letter from the champion. That evening, Coco sat cross-legged on the hotel balcony, still in her team hoodie, trophy beside her like a silent companion. Her phone buzzed endlessly, celebrities, journalists, politicians, even Beyoncé. But amid the noise, Coco opened her notes app and started writing. Not a press statement, not a tweet, but something else. An open message. To Amanda. To Amanda from across the net. Some moments are too big to keep quiet about. Today was one of them. Not because of the trophy, not because of the headlines, but because of you, Amanda Anisimova. I know the world is already writing about how Coco rises, or Gauff reigns, or whatever poetic headline they can wrap around a number. But numbers don't tell the story. Not the real one. Not the part that matters. The part that matters is this. You made me better. I've played hundreds of matches, faced champions, legends, future Hall of Famers. But today, facing you, I wasn't just trying to win. I was trying to deserve it. That's different. The world woke up to that message the next morning. ESPN ran it on the front page. Tennis legends reposted it. Billie Jean King called it the new kind of sportsmanship we dream of. But what made it resonate wasn't the words. It was the sincerity between the lines. Two roots from the same soil. Their rivalry, if you could call it that, began long before the lawns of Wimbledon. Both daughters of immigrants. Both raised in Florida. Both under pressure before they turned 16. Amanda, the power hitter with ice in her veins, had reached the French Open semifinals at 17. Coco, the prodigy who stunned Venus at Wimbledon at 15, had spent the last 6 years navigating greatness as both a blessing and a burden. They were mirrors of expectation, of grit, of potential. But they had never truly met at the summit. Until now. You didn't lose. Coco's message continued. I know what it feels like to sit in the locker room after a match like that. The silence is loud. The what-ifs pile up. Reporters want quotes. Fans want explanations. But what they don't see, what they can't, is how hard it is just to breathe sometimes in that moment. But Amanda, you didn't lose today. Not really. You stood toe-to-toe with me on the biggest stage. And you made me earn every single point. Every drop shot. Every backhand pass. That's not losing. That's legacy. The match that changed everything. It had been 3 sets of tactical brilliance. Amanda using her flat ground strokes like daggers. Coco dancing with footwork and depth. The match flipped a dozen times. The final score, 6-7, 7-5, 6-4, was deceptive. It read like numbers. It felt like war. Every fan in the stadium knew. They weren't just watching a final. They were witnessing the dawning of an era. And it ended not with a scream or a slide or a leap into the crowd, but with Coco falling to her knees, whispering a prayer, and then walking straight to Amanda to embrace her. Not out of pity, but out of mutual survival. They had given each other their best. It had nearly broken them. That was respect. The echo of Serena and Venus. For fans who remembered the early 2000s, the final called back the rivalry of Serena and Venus Williams. But where that story was sisterhood and destiny, this one was something else. Resilience and rebirth. Amanda had nearly quit the sport just 2 years earlier, battling injury and personal grief. Her run to the final wasn't just a comeback, it was a resurrection. Every shot she played seemed to echo that journey. Coco, on the other hand, was finally stepping out from the shadow of the next Serena and becoming simply Coco. This title didn't crown her as a successor. It proved she was her own blueprint. We will meet again, Coco wrote. I can feel it. We will meet on hard courts, on clay, in late-night matches under New York lights or morning sun in Melbourne. And each time, the world will tune in, not just to see who wins, but to see how far we've come. Because this isn't a rivalry born out of hate. This is a rivalry born out of hope. The response. Amanda read the letter in her suite, surrounded by silence. She hadn't slept much. A half-eaten banana and an untouched protein shake sat by the window. But Coco's words hit differently. She didn't cry. She smiled. Later that day, Amanda posted a response. Just a few words, but they traveled fast. Coco, your grace is as powerful as your game. You made me better too. Let's keep building. Love and respect always. It was signed with a heart and a green leaf emoji, an inside reference to their shared Florida roots. What comes next? The media did what media does, hyped it. The new queens of American tennis. Amanda versus Coco, Chapter 1. But what they couldn't fully capture was the quiet revolution happening underneath. For once, women's tennis wasn't just about legacy. It was about empathy. About how 2 young women, raised on grit and headlines, chose kindness over competition in the moment that mattered most. The tour would go on. More matches. More finals. More history. But this moment, a champion reaching back across the net with words instead of a racket, was something new. Something beautiful. The final lines of the message. To the girl I just faced under the London sky. Thank you for reminding me that greatness isn't just about lifting trophies. It's about lifting each other too. See you on the other side of the net soon. With love, always Coco. Epilogue. The net that connects, not divides. In years to come, people would still talk about that Wimbledon final. About the match, the rallies, the sweat and fire. But what they'd remember most, what would become legend, wasn't a forehand or a final point. It was a message, written in humility, sent in honesty, and received in grace. 2 players. 2 journeys. one net, and a bridge of words that turned rivals into something far more enduring, equals, allies, and maybe, one day, friends.